What do you mean you're a namesake, though? I'm so
Oh, God, he doesn't know, does he?
Joe's middle name is
No,
P.O.
It's what?
Joseph
It's not.
P.O. Lennon.
Ah, God damn it. It's not. Don't you? That's not my middle name.
JPL.
Maybe it is.
Coming at you live.
Fuck's sake. Welcome to Preachin, No Preacher, episode number 79, season 3, episode 3 of Preacher Gonna Hurt, is named the episode. My name is Joe Lennon.
Michael Ormond.
Aidan Ralph.
Ken.
You've never said your second name, actually, isn't it?
No, GDPR.
Oh, for
Oh,
fuck's sake.
Jesus. Well, in part 1 we're talking about the episode, and in part 2 we are doing our question of the week, which is best and worst movies of religious themes, that also includes TV shows.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah, so what did we think of this week's episode, gentlemen?
Just straight into it.
Straight into it. Now, how was your week, sir?
Oh, sorry. Let's
Say,
check that out
where's
first.
the
Joe
Yeah.
didn't fuck
introduction?
up the beginning, but
I apologize. Gentlemen, how are your weeks?
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good so far. Just prepare myself for
This
the week
this is
ahead.
going to go over everyone. Well, not everyone's head. Only Joe's going to be able to hear it, but my week was...
What is it? What's he playing?
It's a Football's Coming Home song. England's fucking...
Jesus fucking
Sounds
new
weird
national
from here
anthem.
because the couch was squeaking.
Yeah.
I was like, all I
God.
can hear.
It's awful. Awful song. No, I hope they lose. I hope... and you know what? I know France are into the final now as well, as we do know, and I hope they lose as well.
Yeah.
Like, I hope something...
Tomorrow,
stops it.
everyone's a little Croatian.
Yeah. Come on, Croatia. Jesus.
Yeah. I'd like to, actually, just on that before I forget, I'd like to read a meme, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Because during this
I've
whole...
prepared a statement.
I've prepared a statement on this.
Yeah, I do have a statement to make before we begin as well.
Yeah, because the memes on that Irish Simpsons page in particular
Mm-hmm.
have been fucking tremendous.
Okay.
So just one of my favorite ones. Just for those that don't know, the Irish Simpsons page has been absolutely. It's always on fire.
Irish Simpsons fan.
It's lit.
Irish Simpsons fan page.
Fuck.
It's been lit, fam.
Okay.
Sorry, just trying to
You're
think of
about 20 years too old to say that.
it.
Flame emoji.
Yeah. but yeah. So this particular one
I
is
expect
Jerry.
fire coming from my fingers when
It's
I do
Jerry-
Is that what you were doing?
Yeah.
So this one in particular, it's Jerry Adams' face superimposed onto Principal Skinner's head.
that. Mm-hmm.
If you remember the episode where Bart skipped school and he witnessed the whole Freddie Quimby thing,
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
clam chowder episode. So this is Jerry Adams instead of Skinner says, "I know you can read my thoughts, Croatia. If you don't beat England tomorrow, I'll blow you up. Because I was in the IRA. That's right. I think words I would never say."
Well done.
That
Nice
made me-
accent and everything.
Thank you. That really made me chuckle. So I love that one.
Okay.
But yeah, so the week has been a little bit stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Not
I can
because-
imagine, yeah.
Not because of work, but because I'm going to Spain on Thursday. We're flying out on Thursday morning. We're getting a 6:30 flight
Mm-hmm.
to the Mad Cool Festival in Madrid.
Cool festival.
Yeah, and yeah, so the Thursday night headliner is Pearl Jam. The festival starts at 6 p.m.
Nice.
and I've never seen Pearl Jam. I've always wanted to. They're like one of the last ones on my bucket list. They're still going. And last week, Ryanair, a trade union, announced that Ryanair pilots were going to be going on strike on Thursday the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryanair's reaction was, apart from being a dickish and being real but being real pricks with their statement and stuff on Twitter, which I won't go into, but they said we'll let customers know on the Tuesday. So the flight is on Thursday, and they said we'll let customers know if they're affected on Tuesday, 2 days before.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, are you fucking kidding? We're going to have to wait till Tuesday to find out whether or not this shit's going to happen. But today they announced they're cancelling 30 flights out of 290,
Yeah.
and those 30 flights are only going to
Mostly
the
the UK.
They're all the UK.
Oh, okay.
So we're not being affected by it. So like,
Ryanair's terrified just in case they win the World Cup, is it?
I don't fucking know.
Like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah, get them out of here.
I like that. It's like, it's not
let's
happening
not
to
go
me
there.
anymore, so fuck it.
No, don't get me wrong. I do feel bad for the.
Sympathies to those affected.
No, but seriously, my sincere Joe Dolans is to people that are going to be affected by this. To borrow a phrase from Dustin the Turkey, but yeah, no, it fucking blows. But I mean, hopefully most of those people can make it and can make alternative arrangements and all that stuff. But like after being in Australia, 2 weeks ago, I can just about swing this holiday. If I had to spend a penny more on getting alternative arrangements,
you're
and
already
stuff.
one liver down.
Oh, exactly.
Or a kidney down.
Yeah,
I was gonna say he's got no liver.
One liver.
Yeah.
Fucking dead.
Yeah. So so yeah, that was a fucking relief. So it's looking like it's all good, and we're gonna make it to. We're gonna make it after all.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you. Because you're sort of taking the piss out of me the other day, and I almost wanted to hit you, to be honest.
What did I say?
I was just like, oh, are you going to Madrid then? Better look next year, lads.
Wow, Joe, that's fucking harsh.
I'm paraphrasing. He didn't say that, but
That sounds like me, all right, doesn't it?
You're like, ha 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 ha. Like, Joe, we're flying.
Should have went with Aer Lingus.
We're yeah. Oh, Ben, look next year. No, we're like, I was like, we're you know, this may generally affect us. We may generally have a really rough time trying to get there and stuff. So
Joe has no empathy because
my heart bled for a while. Yeah. Sorry for you.
But yeah, it all worked out in the end. But apart from that, the week has been okay. How about
Sorry,
you
I
guys?
didn't mean it so harsh.
I know it's all right. No, it's fine. I still love you.
You lying bastard. You meant it.
You meant every word.
Mick, what about yours?
I was at a stag weekend in Newcastle.
Ah, yes. So that
The
now,
memories are vague.
now the memories are coming back of why that song was played at the beginning. Yeah, you heard
I
that
got to
quite
watch,
a lot.
Yeah, I got to watch the England-Sweden game while in England.
Jeez, that must have been rough.
And then after that, every single person on the street was just singing "It's coming home, it's coming home."
And then you helped them with the
As
riots.
if they fucking made the trophy.
Pretty much, yeah. I was the guy that jumped through the top of that bus stop. That was me.
Jesus. God damn.
Right. Well,
I was also fronted a queue in IKEA.
Oh yeah. Did you see they trashed an IKEA in England?
That's
Like-
the joke.
Like, it was like, fuck's sake, he's won. Don't go trash a fucking
All the
IKEA.
staff in there are more than likely English.
They're all English.
I didn't
They're
hear
like,
that.
this
Why
is
did they
basic.
do? Why would you do such a thing?
Because they won.
Because they won Sweden.
Yeah.
And it's a Swedish company.
They won Sweden.
Yeah.
They own Sweden now.
Yeah.
Oh.
They own
That's how
Sweden,
the World
yeah.
Cup works.
Good
You
lord.
claim the countries
Yeah.
you beat.
Yeah.
It's like,
How do you-
yeah, we get to rule in other countries again.
France
You're
now own Belgium.
Again,
Jesus.
yeah, that's how that works.
Germany
That was
lost
the original
everyone.
purpose of the World Cup, yeah.
Germany what?
Everyone owns Germany.
Everybody owns Germany now. Wow, everything comes full circle, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
because they owned us for a little bit with that whole Angela Merkel, that whore. So yeah, it's interesting. I didn't think the World Cup was taken quite so seriously, but apparently I've missed that.
You've
Ah, it's
not
great
been paying any attention for 33 years.
Yeah, apparently not. It's interesting, isn't it?
But the one statement I want to do before
Okay,
thing,
yeah.
last week we talked about the woman on the bike
Yeah.
thing. So that was from most IMDb forums and also from listed under the trivia and stuff like that. They actually got it completely wrong on their information on it. They actually retracted some of it. The woman with the bike's not named is Christine. It was mixed up with the actress actually playing the mother at the very beginning in the flashback.
Oh right, okay.
So it wasn't thing. It's a complete different actress
Oh
on it, but it was mixed up in the the act. Where it's like character and actor.
yeah.
That was wrong. They actually changed it.
Oh, that's interesting.
So look, when I was
So
looking
you
more
got
into
Aiden
it,
all excited for nothing.
I did indeed, yeah. And you know what got me fucking excited? It was definitely a hard on for a couple of days with
But
that
Christine's
information.
like, if Christine's cast though, she's still gonna be in it, is she not?
It's the one from the flashback.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean she's not gonna be in it later on in the season.
No, of course not. We don't know that.
Yeah.
Mick doesn't know that storyline though. He definitely does now.
Yeah, we'll see
Um,
what happens though. I mean, look, Mick, as you know yourself, they've changed an awful lot of shit in this in the overall story arc of the show.
Well,
That's
like,
true.
I mean, you can make the presumption, like, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but the paedophile school, the paedophile vice principal was still alive. So,
Yeah, but like he wasn't in the comics at all.
yeah.
So there's that. But anyway, Ken, how was your week?
Grand.
It was good. It was Rosie's birthday.
Yeah.
So we had our party on Friday, and then
Party.
we went and got tattooed on Saturday.
Stay that tattoo.
Sorry?
Stay that tattoo.
Stay a face.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know
It's
you liked Spyro so much.
Oh, I love my little buddy.
I
That
never.
was actually one of the first games it was the actual that and Pandemonium. was the first PlayStation games I ever owned. I got
Just look at it again.
Santa Claus.
Do you want to show it to the kids at home?
Oh, do we really have to?
He can do
Yeah,
it.
I think you should do it, yeah.
Picture on picture on the video, maybe.
I could do that.
Yeah. Or you
I'm
could,
too comfy on the couch.
I think my first game I ever got on that PlayStation was Descent. You remember Descent?
Yeah.
Was it decent?
Oh.
Flower.
Yeah, I got it
Tomb
on,
Raider 2.
PS1.
Was my
Yeah.
first PS1.
Tomb Raider Ado.
Adore.
Or Ridge Racer.
PS1 and we had like a
Ridge
little old
Racer.
school square telly.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
me and my
Fuck yeah.
dad milled through the game. There was actually through the full 3 games, there was one dragon the two of us could never get. So we never were able to do just this one. Like you had to come down a ramp and then jump up and hover around like this castle type
Oh,
area.
some of those ones where you have to
And,
land
yeah.
on hidden places is insane.
It was a nightmare, and we never got it in the end. So I think with the remake coming out, I'm like,
Yes.
it's happening. I am not leaving.
Yeah.
They'll make it easier. It's fine.
This is
They better fucking not.
I'm really tempted to wait for the Switch version of it.
I
To
think
have it
they'll
on
do
the
what
go.
they done with Bandicoot and drop it a year later because
Yeah.
Sony want to make their few quid off this.
Yeah.
So.
They're loving their little remakes, aren't they? It's like,
Yeah.
all right,
It's
now
not
you
Sony,
can
it's
have it.
Activision.
Yeah, but it's only coming out on PlayStation.
Is it?
As
So
it
love it.
originally did.
Yeah, like Crash
Oh.
did. Crash.
But
just
Crash
is
is
out.
coming out on Xbox now.
Yeah, it's
That's a weird.
that and Nintendo Switch as well, which
Yeah.
really gets me excited because like that's going to be class on the go for all 3 fucking
Yeah,
Crash
the
and
Bandicoot,
Spyro games.
It's like 50 quid for them all.
This
Yeah.
is not the same thing, but there was a Nintendo game called Snake Rattle and Roll. Do you ever play that game? I was always a big fan of that game, but like
That name is familiar.
I forgot how difficult it is. Like literally, like 3 or 4 levels in, and I have it at home on the mini NES, and I've never gotten past like.
I don't remember that being on the collection for that console.
It is on this phone.
It is on this one, and I don't think I've ever gotten past the 4th or 5th level. There might only be 10 levels altogether,
Mm-hmm.
but it just gets like ridiculously difficult. And I just I was saving it as I was going along and just going back to it, but I just can't get past it.
There's a reason you didn't get it.
Why?
Because you're shit.
Is that on like a
Probably,
grid and
probably.
it's a snake head that you
Yeah,
move around?
that's right,
I think
yeah.
I might have played it.
And you eat a load of like what look like Skittles. But yeah, it's a fucking tough game. But anyway,
I think
Episode 3. Gonna hurt.
are we I wasn't expecting this at all, but okay, less than 5 minutes in, we get a huge fucking reveal straight off the bat. It's just like, okay, like it started off with the whole Tulip looking like she's going after the Grail.
Mm-hmm.
That
Only that they've moved
innocent-
offices.
the innocent cleaner gets.
Uh-huh.
I'm just the cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Jesus.
all still in white.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh, well, they'd have to, I suppose. Oh, but he's not part of the Grail. Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Oh.
But then straight away after that, on the way home, fucking runs into God.
yeah,
Yeah.
Just on the side of the road.
I thought that was going to be like a hallucination or something.
Same.
so did I. Yeah,
And then no.
Fuck,
It's just
the mask comes
Okay.
off.
yeah, that was a
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I was actually shocked that that reveal happened so early. But it's like, you look like fake God. It's like that's the design. I was like, I still
love
can't
his
believe that
answer. He
happened.
kept going.
He looks exactly
That's
like
way
the
it was
comics.
designed.
Yeah.
That's the way it was designed. I was like, oh,
Comic-
gotta keep going.
Comic God.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Which I loved.
what you mean? Sorry, what you mean by comic god?
He looks like that fake kind of, generalized white
yeah,
God.
Yeah,
yeah,
That you see in all the pictures,
yeah,
which is fucking fantastic.
yeah. It's pretty good.
We saw a lot of them and a lot of information.
Mhm.
Especially he's got a mission to prove if humanity is worth yay
Yeah.
or nay.
Well, was
Yeah.
that not just to try get Tulip off his back?
I think it's genuinely his plan.
I think he's just on the ride.
Yeah, he didn't.
That's
he didn't,
why Tulip was like, "Yeah, that I call bullshit."
Yeah.
he didn't really. He didn't really clarify his plan, though, right? He
No, he
No.
didn't clarify, and he wouldn't clarify.
Yeah,
He said he was doing up a test.
yeah. Which
And she
could
was
be
like,
more
well, what
horse
kind of
shit.
test?
As Sheila pointed out, like could be more horse shit, really. You know.
Mhm.
But that was a really good opening, though. Again, 2 weeks in a row with a very, really, really fucking good opening. So
Yeah, really shocking. Really shocking. Yeah. Then we have this episode I knew from, I think, the name and what we saw, the little snippet last week, Gonna Hurt.
Yeah,
We knew this was going to be a Cassidy kind of more orientated episode.
yeah,
I think it was, although there was a lot in it. Cassidy is just the worst person to hide being a vampire, isn't
Yeah.
he? Like,
Very
like
much so.
TC
Yeah.
and Jody the whole time are just like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Good healer.
They're a lot smarter than
They're a
they-
lot
they
smarter than
kind
you
of
think.
look
Mhm.
in a sense. Like they're not just little swamp hicks. They're actually very smart.
Well,
TC is definitely-
Jody more so. TC.
And again, like I will say, like
Maybe
TC's
not.
clever though. He knows something's up though. He
I'm
knew
retracting back from my original statement on the first episode more and more.
something. TC.
They're like Jody and TC. They are pretty well adapted in this. Like Jody's the brains of the operation. TC's an idiot, but he's not that much of an idiot. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
they're pretty good depictions of the characters.
I'm
and
loving
I'm-
TC
Yeah.
with every episode. Like it's only
Yeah.
3 in, but I am loving TC.
Mhm.
Every scene gives me something more I can either
Yeah.
laugh at or be like, okay, this character is just fucked up, and I really,
Yeah.
really enjoy that. Like every time, it's like, you want to see my dingle?
Yeah.
I was like, I thought they were messing. Like that dingle was his name
Well-
for something else.
Well, I thought it would have been like
a boat.
yeah,
Yeah.
or like a stuffed animal
Uh-huh.
or something.
Yeah.
So I watched that in my office on lunchtime.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
I'm just sitting there at my desk with my iPad and watching it, and then I'm like, turn it slightly away from the people sitting behind me so they don't
I
just
do
see.
that when I was on the bus. I'm like, I'm just going to tilt the screen down a little.
The one thing, so just to comment more on the kind of overall structure stuff,
Mhm.
I'm quite glad that they're doing like they're bringing up things in episodes and not dragging it out over 3 or 4 episodes,
Yeah.
because they could easily have dragged out the Cassidy being a vampire thing
yeah.
until episode like 7 or 8.
Like they did with Dennis last year. Like they
Yeah.
dragged that the fuck out.
But it was kind of introduced in this one that they were getting, oh,
Suspicious.
he's a good healer. What do you mean good healer? And
They
then-
introduced it last week though, didn't they?
that was it. No, that was in the trailer.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
So they bring up the thing as he's healing real fast, and then he gets caught to be a vampire, and that's kind of resolved this week. But they are still leaving enough for me held over week to week that I'm not.
Very much so. Yeah.
They're not falling into the same trap that
Yeah.
or mistakes they made.
Do you think that they're actually just listening to people whinging like us about our criticisms of?
It was absolutely our fault. We're going to take full credit for.
Yeah, like maybe like it seems like they're sort of answering a lot of our criticisms so far,
Mhm.
and yet we've still seen 0 Arseface and 0 Hitler, but we're not
Yeah.
complaining though. I'm
Yeah.
not anyway.
I did write it down and thing as a question to all of us as one of my final things on this season. We can interject and jump it in,
Mhm.
but yeah, that was one thing I thought. Okay, no Hitler, no Arseface, no Saint the Killers, no Allfather. We know these things are coming, but at the same time, we are stuck in
hmm
Angeville.
I think the reason I don't mind it this year compared to last year is that the stuff they're doing this year is progressing fast enough that I don't feel like I'm missing out by not getting back to those stories
yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's the
And
point,
I guess they were at a point where they're not mid-story right now.
yeah.
Like, we know Hitler got out, and we know Arseface got out, and we know the Saint is back in hell.
Yeah.
But what's happening next with them, there's nothing directly happening, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas when they were left behind for 3 or 4 episodes last season, it was mid a story beat.
yeah,
Yeah.
And you're
so
like, well,
true.
I'm interested in that story. I want to go back to that
Yeah, yeah,
story.
yeah.
Whereas now, because we don't know where they are currently, I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's enough to keep us interested. Like when
Yeah.
we go back, when they go back to them, we're like, oh, great, we get to see
Mhm.
what these two are up to now.
And they're doing. I think they're doing quite well in giving all 3 of our main cast things to do.
Yes, exactly.
So Jesse is trying to deal with his grandmother and Jody, and trying to get around that blood
Yeah.
curse. Cassidy obviously got shot, and then he's dealing with his healing and his infatuation with Tulip,
Yeah,
and then Tulip is trying to break the O'Hare curse.
yeah,
Pretty
Yeah.
much, like she's going out and she's trying to
Yeah.
fix this for Jesse because she wrecked his plan last week.
yeah. And even like with the thing with God, like God comes into it this week, like directly
Mhm.
speaks to Tulip, says he has some fucking plan or other, doesn't reveal what the plan is, but that's but that scene was good enough that I was like, all right, we don't know what his plan is. That's okay. We
Yeah.
can wait to find that out later on.
But also, it provided enough that you might just think, yeah, he's bullshitting, and
Yeah.
be coming on Tulip like you're. I almost said coming on Tulip. Be on Tulip's side with that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I think she's right, and that
Yeah.
he's just bullshitting her.
Yeah,
And then
so
the
do I,
quick
yeah.
So,
the quick flashback where she kicks him in the dick.
Oh, that was so good.
That was good, yeah.
Like, and that was one of those things. Like, Tulip learned so much from that, and she says something very important to Jesse. When she was, when it was like, "Why did he talk to you?" And it was like, "What do you mean? Why does he talk to me?" It was like, but he totally shrugs that off. In the last season, he would have been really pissed off.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have stormed out of the room, been really fucking angry.
Yeah.
In this one, he's more centered,
Mhm.
and with that, she goes, "Jesse, I think he's afraid of you."
Yeah.
It was like, and then he realizes he's afraid of Genesis.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things. Is he running from it? He's not doing a very good job if he's running from it. To be honest,
Well,
he's really close to it.
well,
But
in the comics, isn't that what he done? He was coming after him, and God kept avoiding him because he had Genesis,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he knew the
Yeah.
power of it.
Yeah.
But and then
he's
again,
terrified of it.
Jesse got really pissed off as well in the comics. Anytime God spoke to anybody else but him,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
because he wouldn't face him face
Mhm.
to face.
Yeah, it's just I like the way they brought
but I
that
have no
into it.
idea what you're talking about.
Comics.
It just opened up so much to it, and it's
Yeah.
I've noticing more and more little things being said, like Cassidy saying to Jesse, he goes sitting down there with Jody, the one who killed your papa or
Yeah.
whatever he says, and it's like, "I'll deal with him in time."
Yeah.
I was like, "There's going to be a huge fucking conversation," and I look forward to
Mhm.
seeing how that
Yeah.
plays out as well.
It's gonna be
Well,
amazing.
it even happened in the car when he elbowed him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
When he
that
mentioned
was
Christine.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said, you don't have to do it for me, do it for Christine, and then it's
Yeah,
And then he elbowed him in the
Mhm.
face.
And
it seems like
he
the-
did say
yeah.
he'd get him at one stage, and he said, "Yeah, but not now" or
Not
something.
not
today.
today.
Not today.
Yeah.
But it kind of raises a point, like, because Jody seemed genuinely remorseful about the fact that they killed Christine.
yeah.
So it was like, is there something there between the two? Because then Jesse tries to cajole him into helping by
Yeah.
saying to do it for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm, yeah.
And it's like, then that triggered him off, and that's when he elbowed him in the face. So it's like, it's kind of hinting at more of a background there between those
Yeah.
two, and maybe some kind of eventual, I don't know, maybe there's like a division in the Angelville family.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, definitely. And you can see it from. I know we only got one little flashback this week, and it was TC telling the story fantastically of how to get out of a blood pact.
Mhm.
That scene was amazing.
Fucking grim.
That was like a really
Holy
old
shit.
school 80s horror movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
great,
good.
wasn't it? It was
Even
fucking
TC
deadly.
played that like creepy groundskeeper, like
Yeah.
behind Madam, behind just like in horror kind of
Mhm.
thing. It was great.
I just love the line. It's like, he paid a whole lot of money for an 89-cent rag.
One thing I'd like to bring up, actually, which has nothing to do with this episode directly,
Mhm.
Okay.
but if you're on Wikipedia, we've said that, okay, this is the shorter season, it's 10 episodes,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's what it says on Wikipedia. However, on IMDb, it lists 13. Now, it doesn't have the names for episode 11, 12, and 13,
Hmm.
but they reckon it's 13-episode season,
Really?
and the last episode will be aired on the 16th of September. But
Oh, so
weirdly,
they have air dates.
they've aired a date for the last one, but not for 11 or 12. It's weird.
So do you think they just like kind of copy and pasted last month's structure and are just
last year's structure,
So
maybe, yeah.
Wikipedia is very like user submitted, so I don't know whether I would.
No,
trust
it's
they
that.
on
wouldn't
IMDb
do
that
it
it's
until
13,
it's
though.
been confirmed.
Oh, okay.
Hold
Wikipedia
on.
says 10, but IMDb says 13.
Yes.
So I have a TV shows app.
Yeah, see with the TV show, we have this app
Preacher.
that's really reliable.
Well, we'll keep talking maybe
Yeah.
while Ken looks that up. What did you think? So they finally kind of revealed what the tombs were as well.
Yes.
It's basically a big giant fight pit.
I love it.
Monster
When I
Fight
saw
Club.
sorry to interrupt, but
Monster Fight Club. That is
when,
a
yeah,
good way
exactly.
to put it.
And we shouldn't be talking about it, but we're going to talk about it anyway.
Sorry, yeah, this is mentioning 10 as well.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
IMDb must be wrong then.
We'll
Fucking
wait and see.
IMDb.
Yeah, I assume. But especially because the final episode of the season is called The Light Above.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like a fun,
A god type thing.
That sounds like a real kind of final season
Mhm.
episode title as well. But yeah, the tombs. Like when I saw the Jesse at the top hat last week, I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like that's
Again, so we watched the little every
Yeah.
week after the episode they air like
Yeah.
a 30-second teaser, and
yeah,
there was the top hat thing.
yeah. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is or how I'd feel about
Mhm.
it. But when it got to that part of the episode, that was, I mean, I'm really enjoying the season so far. But that was the first time I think in a long time where there's an end to an episode of Preachin. It's like, oh fuck, I would watch that immediately.
Yeah,
if it was available right now. So,
I felt that too because it was like they obviously went from them hanging Cassidy up by the tree, and that's where the thing from the
which
credits
I thought would have lasted
from.
a lot longer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
me
it's
too.
another thing that seemed to happen really quickly, and they are just going from thing to thing in this one, and I really like it because they're not dragging out anything. But it went from that, and then the introduction of what the fight pit was, and seeing the guy that they tried to get to visit Madame Angel, like huffing glue out of a paper bag while watching the fight. It's like, bloody hell, this is madness.
Yeah, absolutely bad, and it works though. It's fucking crazy, but it's working really well so far.
It's running so smooth.
Yeah,
like we complained on different parts on the last season, but so far this has been just
it's been
so
excellent.
clean.
It's been fucking brilliant so far.
Yeah,
Like it feels very rushed, but as you said, it's
and
moving
structured at the same
smoothly.
time.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. But
I would say
Yeah.
rushed
I know
is
what's going
rushed
on.
is probably the wrong word.
Like
I'd say maybe urgent.
maybe going at a million miles
I know
an
that-
hour, but like in a good way, and it all
But
feels.
I think it conveys that kind of urgency as well, because there's so much happening so quickly that they're not settling on any one thing. Because again, like, and I don't want to keep harking back to season 2. I know there were people that enjoyed it, but if this was done in the season 2 style, like, it would have dragged out parts
We'd
of
still be on the
this.
first episode.
Yeah, it would have dragged out parts of this
True.
for 2 or 3 episodes.
And do you think that's why they only have 10 episodes then?
I'm
instead of the 13?
I'm hoping that it's more that they only have 10, so they're not putting in a lot of filler.
So they're getting to the point of everything instead of like dragging out that scene where
to
he's
fill up
hanging
an
from a
episode.
tree just for an extra 2 or 3 minutes until the sun comes up, and then bringing them into the tomb.
Yeah,
But I wouldn't say that, because if this was last season, I feel that they would have done the first part of the vampire thing today. Jesse would have hurt him a few more times.
I know. Yeah.
Then he would have got the bloodlust, and he would have wanted the chicken. So then in 3 episodes' time, he'd have got the chicken, and then it would have been like another episode to the fight pit. Whereas this time, that was done in a space of 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And it didn't need anything more than that, because us as an audience, like, we know we know Cassidy's a vampire. We know he's got the bloodlust. And from the little hints, they didn't have to be completely, like, they didn't have to give so many details about the fact that they don't like vampires. It was kind of explained away and even Cassidy going, this is voodoo land. I should be like their head
Main
attraction.
Yeah.
it's like Voodoo Disneyland.
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Again, it's as they said then. It was like magic is one thing, with monsters or another.
You call me a monster?
I thought that was really cool. Like, after mending so much, it looked like they were really getting back on track, and it took less than 5 seconds before it was like, hold the fucking phone. It was like, look,
you're just saying that to get me out of here.
You need to get out of here. Get me away from her.
And it pushed the whole tulip love potion thing again.
Again, do you know what? We were only talking about this last week, and I said that might be dragged out. I guess it wasn't. The use of it is still to be seen forward. But he went back to Grandma, had a chat. I knew immediately where that was going. I knew the love potion was coming into it. Straight off the bat, it was done, sorted, and he's back out. But of course, he had some of the best lines of the whole episode in that one conversation. What are you still shitting in a bag for?
Yeah.
I was like, this is the villain of this season, and it's like, he just sits down with her and asks why she's shitting in a bag. It's fucking love
I think
Cassidy.
I'm kind of forgetting one point that I realised. How did he walk out with the potion? What did he do to get the potion off her? Because she looked like she nodded no.
Do you also see what she put on the table?
A cloth.
It was
What,
never
did she
used.
put on a cloth?
No, it was a mirror.
Right, okay.
And I don't know in this
Sorry,
world.
she was looking at a photograph. I think it was the photograph she just put down.
You sure?
She was
'Cause it
looking at a
looked very
photograph
like a
of
mirror.
like a man in like 50s style clothes.
Imagine
or
it was
whatever
Cassidy.
it could have been. But
It's like, you look
did
familiar.
he give her eternal life for that potion? Did he make her a vampire so she can live on forever?
I don't think they're going to make Grandma a
Or
vampire.
did he...
I only don't think that would be the case because they're so anti-monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's exactly what I wondered.
But,
Because when
no,
he
I-
came out and sprayed it, I'm like, what did he do to get that off
Yeah,
her?
not knowing what because like for her everything has a price.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing free. So I do wonder what was given up for that love potion.
Yeah.
Or did she just do it to cause more tension between Tulip, Cassidy, and Jesse.
Because the two of them then might fuck off.
Exactly, and then Jesse
herself.
won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So maybe it was more, hey, if I cause this friction between them, they'll fuck off, and Jesse will be here, and he won't leave me again.
And what was when
That's
he
it.
sprayed the bottle? There was some weird noise. I
didn't get
know.
that as well. I don't
It's
even know why he was wasting it.
Well, I think because
It's
it
like,
only takes
whoa.
one spray, so he's just... I think it was more just to show that's what he got
Yeah.
from a
say we get
storytelling
closer to the mic.
perspective.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Aye.
Suck that, Mike.
Yeah, right up there.
Do you really want me to make them noises?
Maybe not. Maybe not yet.
Okay.
After midnight.
Hey.
One thing I noticed as well with Jessie talking to Grandma, she mentioned the coffin.
Mhm.
That again, the coffin has been brought up, and we know one of the
Yeah.
episodes is called the coffin.
Yeah.
This is why I think I said last week. I think the first 5 episodes, or was it yourself even?
Yeah.
First 5 episodes are definitely all going to be in Angelville,
Yeah.
and nothing else. And then the last 5,
then
I
it'll-
think, will
yeah.
be a combo. I think they're going to do a combo.
Mhm.
Well, episode
Because
6 is Les Enfants de Sang, so that'll be... I imagine that'll be out of Angelo.
Yeah,
Do-
and then
do
Hitler
we-
is obviously out of it
Yeah.
as well. So
Do we think there'll be an episode, and I know we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves here, do we think there'll be an episode without Jesse, Tulip, and Cassidy?
yeah,
Like one that's completely focused on the
Hitler.
other
I
story?
think the
Hitler and
Hitler
Arseface, yeah.
or Arseface one will be completely without
Mhm.
them. I think it'll leave it on like that kind of mid-season cliffhanger with Jesse's story, and it'll go straight over to them for at least an episode or 2.
Yeah.
Of course, we know it's running straight through without a break, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
15,
Yeah.
22, yeah.
15, 20, 25,
I'm looking at
30,
22nd July, 29th, August 5th, 12th, 19th, 26th. There's no break.
Yeah.
Like it's straight through.
Is the 26th the finale?
Yep.
Yeah, is that your
Oh, that's my
birthday?
birthday.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And episode 6 is my birthday. And I believe that's 3 away. I'm also hosting that week.
Nice.
Oh, no way. Nice. Good time.
Luckily, we
Yeah.
don't record on the actual episode day.
yeah.
Do we have any final thoughts on Gonna Hurt? Or do we want to rock into our hair stars? No, there are actually no stars this week. Well,
What?
no hair stars this week.
Yeah, there was no hair stars for...
We still got to give her stars. It's
Yeah.
our
Oh,
rating
yeah, we
system.
do, yeah. It's our
Well,
official
yeah, he
rating.
just wasn't there, so Mick does have a point.
No, fuck it. We're still rating it out of hair stars.
Yep.
In fact, we should rate movies after this out of hair stars as well.
Oh, no, we'll think of something for the
No,
the
we won't.
movies.
No, we
I'll
won't.
try
Hair
to
stars.
come up with something.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I would rate this one like very much a solid 4 hair stars out of 5.
Ding.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on 4.
Yeah.
I can never really give 5 because I find it really hard to be
Mhm.
perfect.
Yeah.
I'm always going to find something.
It was really,
So it
really
definitely gets a
fucking
solid
good,
4 and a
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
episode.
though. Yeah.
I'm going to
Great
make it a
episode.
4-fecta. And it's also going to be 4 hair stars.
I
For
think,
me.
I think that's
I think-
3 in a row where we've all given close to about 4 stars,
Yeah.
isn't it?
No, because there's only been 3 episodes.
I think the first episode when he just gave it 3.
2
me,
3s
me
and a
Mick
4.
give it
yeah.
a
Yeah.
give it a 3.
I
yeah.
gave it a 4, I think, yeah. Ken?
So last week I think it was 4s across the board.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And this week again, 4s across
Solid
the board.
episode.
What about you,
Yeah.
Ken? 4 out of 5?
Oh, me. I don't know. I'm torn. See, we can't do half hair stars.
Yeah.
You can
You
if you
can
want.
if you count the bullet
Yeah.
wound across the top
Oh,
of the
yeah,
head.
Yeah.
actually.
Split his head in half.
Now we're
Three in
just
the bullet
now we're
hole.
just splitting hairs.
Hey.
Ah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Now
my
just
jokes are
sacked.
bad.
There he is.
I'm sitting here on my own next week. I will give, definitely a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fantastic
It's a great
one.
Solid
Sorry,
episode.
definitely 4 hair stars.
Yes.
I'm sorry with our that video I sent you. You probably noticed there was an ad in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know where that
I started seeing clips of Shane from The Walking
It
Dead.
was a Walking
and I
Dead.
was like, that's season 1. What are they
fuck is
advertising
that?
season 1
Shane
for?
Weekend. I was like, oh,
like,
fuck off.
what's going on?
At the end, there was no promo for next week on it.
I
I
watched
had to
it.
look it up.
I haven't watched it.
I looked
Yeah,
it up,
I think
yeah.
so. We're gonna watch that. I think afterwards. I need to
Mhm.
see it as soon as possible.
Was
now
the
after
promo
talking.
good, though?
Yeah, I won't
Yeah.
say what happens in it, but we'll watch it afterwards.
Yeah.
And, it has me very, very excited
Yeah,
for
I-
next week.
Okay.
Between how the episode ended this week and what that promo showed, it's again, I'm gonna echo Aiden's sentiment. It's the first time in a long time I've wanted to immediately watch the next episode of Preacher
Fucking dead.
because I'm like, no, I want to see what happens. This is getting real interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you think
Okay.
they'll do like flashbacks of the tomb from when Jesse used to probably run it as a kid?
Well, you might
It
see
wouldn't
him as
surprise
he
me,
would.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Top
wouldn't
hat as
surprise
well.
me.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'd say
Possibly,
that's
yeah.
possible. Yeah.
I'd put a very high bet on that being shown next week, just for this thing of
The intro.
this is what it
maybe?
was.
Yeah.
This is what happened before, and now
Yeah.
you see it's become him.
But
Thing
see,
like you see TC jump out with the hat, and he goes, "He nearly forgot the hat."
Yeah.
It's like
And then as soon as he put it on, he looked like a completely different person.
maybe
Yeah.
it is. This is what I think the show also needs to explain. As it goes, it is showing it.
mhm.
Jesse became a very dark person in HBO and done some really fucked up things, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
fun to see.
But
the
also,
rest.
if it doesn't show that next week, I actually don't mind because I don't need everything absolutely nailed down 100% explained to me.
Yeah.
And it was like the vampire thing today. It was like even just the hints that there's something there is
yeah,
enough for me. I don't need a massively
the moving
detailed.
picture that Cassidy's looking at, and
Exactly,
showing
yeah.
what they do, it was like, oh fuck, cool.
Yeah. It was like
Bring it
he
back.
realised it but didn't give a shit.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why he was staring at it in the episode before. It was
Yeah.
like thing, and then when Jesse mentioned it, it was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like, "Nah, that's all bullshit." It was like, "You have no idea."
Yeah. You really don't know what these people can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right then, are we wrapping that? Are we ready
Yeah, I
to
think
pop
that's-
into part 2? Are we?
Yes.
Popping into part 2.
Popping in
Oh.
there. Yeah, just little,
Don't. Oh.
just a
Oh.
little pop in there.
Oh,
Just a
no.
tip.
I heard the couch squeak again.
Yeah.
It's coming. Oh.
Oh no, not doing
No,
that.
not doing that again.
All right, now that's enough. We'll join us in part 2 for our question of the week. And welcome back to part 2, which is our question of the week. We are live, but also it is best and worst movies with religious themes.
I was saying on TV
That was
shows
how
as
we
well.
said it. We included TV shows.
If we can
yeah.
if we can scrape some other TV shows that aren't Preacher into this, we'll do it.
My lists mostly have like movies. I
Yeah.
That's
definitely
fair.
think,
Same.
and I got at least 7 good ones and
Me
like
too.
2 bad ones.
Same
Now-
with my list that I just googled
Like-
2 seconds ago. Yeah.
My list seemed really short because every time I looked up the films, I didn't feel they were worthy enough to even be on the list because they were that bad.
Yeah.
Like, but you probably would have better ones than me.
I
Or
don't
did you
know
make-
about that now.
No,
No effort. No.
no effort into this one at all. Okay,
Jesus Christ.
all right, fair enough. Mick is completely dedicated.
Yeah.
All right, I think we should
Let's
start with the
go.
best.
Go with the one that you spoiled at the end of last week's episode.
I
So,
spoiled one.
well, go and talk about Dogma.
Dogma. Okay, yeah.
Well, Dogma's
I have
obviously
no
the best.
problem.
Dogma's
Dogma is
obviously
not
the
my
best
number
religious
one, yeah.
film. Yeah, it's the best
Um,
religious film of all time.
It's a joint.
Yeah.
It's a joint first place.
With which?
The Life of Brian, or what do you find in the Holy Grail?
Holy Grail isn't religious. Is it? Oh, sorry.
Holy
John,
Grail.
there. I
Holy
apologise.
Grail.
Well,
Of
no,
course
that's
it is.
what they're going after. But Holy Grail is an Arthurian film. Like
Yeah,
it's knights
God's in it,
and-
though.
But God is in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's our basis for like religious films, there's probably a whole lot of other ones that there's like a cameo
Yeah.
Of just
of
God.
Like,
Just
the
the-
Lotto. The Lotto is my favorite TV program with God.
What?
Did you never see those ads for the Lotto?
No.
It's you.
Okay, yeah, but that's
That could be the hand of God.
Oh, Jesus
it's
Christ.
not the films that God appeared in. It's religious themes. Like,
Fair. Okay.
another one on my list. We'll go back to Dogma in a sec, though.
Mhm.
But 7. I put 7 on it.
I've never seen 7.
It was based on the 7
Sort your
Seven
level,
Deadly
eh?
Sins.
Seven
yeah.
Deadly Sins. It's a great film.
Yeah. I've
I
heard
finally only saw it like this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I really like that film.
that.
7?
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's very good.
Surprised me a little bit.
I always forget Morgan Freeman's in it.
Yeah. He's and he's is he God in it? Because he's God in Bruce Almighty. So there's
He's
No.
God in life.
well, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, he matches it.
Yeah.
Sorry, we will go back to Dogma.
Yeah, go on.
Aiden, you love Dogma, don't you?
I do love Dogma. Like especially as a young Catholic man in this country at the time when I saw it when I was like 17 or whatever, I suppose. So it would have been 2002, something like that. Yeah, like it really it sort of resolved the crisis of faith at the time with me. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even especially like just not even like the film is really funny, but even just lines like near the end when Chris Rock says to is it Linda Fiorentino? Is that her
Mhm.
name? He says to her like, "He's saying, do you believe?" She says, "No, but I've got a good idea." Like, do you know what I mean? Because and his whole thesis of an idea can be changed, it can be manipulated, but beliefs are like sort of
Set in
rigid
stone.
and
Yeah.
set in stone, and people will die for it, and people cause wars about it and stuff like that. So, just even that whole sentiment, like the idea that you can you can change your mind about certain things and stuff like that. So I really like that whole side of it.
And it's got a giant poop monster in it.
It does have a shit demon.
Yeah.
A shit demon. Jeez, you fart.
Who
the
fucking
fuck
farted? Yeah.
I love that film. There's just too many lines for that.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I remember really liking it when I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of... It always sits up there, because I think Mallrats was probably my first Kevin Smith film.
Yeah.
Then I went back and watched Clerks, and Clerks is just very good.
Yeah.
Same, and Clerks 2 is obviously genius as well.
Yes, it is.
I don't think I was a massive fan of Jay and Silent Bob, like Strike Back. Mainly because it went so far off the deep end that it was kind of like, okay.
I really like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, but it is very much a kind of throwaway thing. And I remember like Kevin Smith talking about like of all the films that he made up to that point, like his in his Evening with DVD at the time, I think Jersey Girl hadn't come out, so you had those first 5 films, and he was saying that there was like a marathon screening that they had of all of the Askew-niverse films as they were called, because the production was called View Askew. So, and because Jay and Silent Bob were in those 5 films, so Clerks, Mallrats, Dogma, Chasing Amy, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He was saying that the one film that he had absolutely no problem with when he rewatched it was Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because he was like, I set out to make the film a certain way, and I achieved exactly what I set out to do. Whereas there's other things you would have changed about the rest of those films, which I thought was very interesting, because I think it's arguably the weakest of the 5. Because even though it's really, really funny, you know, it's
I think the other 4 are better films.
They are. That's the thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So it's just interesting to say, this is the one that I enjoyed rewatching the most when we had that marathon. Now this was like nearly 20 years ago at this stage, but yeah, no, Dogma is. I mean, I think I mentioned this last week. I've the screenplay at home, like he released it as novelization. One of the pull quotes on the cover was, "The gospel according to the guy that's been chasing Amy. What's not to love?"
Is that the name of it?
All right. Well, no, it's just
like
a pull quote.
Oh, that's
It's just a tagline. That's just a pull quote from I don't know, just a positive critical view of the film or whatever, you know.
He doesn't do many bad films.
No, he doesn't.
Like, what was that one in... Was it Tusk?
Tusk I really liked.
Which one was that?
It's the one where the guy gets turned into a walrus. Spoilers.
I haven't seen that one, I don't think.
Tusk is really good. Red State I didn't like at all.
That was shit.
That was shy.
That was a remake.
And you know what?
No, it wasn't actually, no.
Love Kevin Smith, but that was terrible.
Never mind then.
You're probably thinking of Red Dawn or something, maybe.
Yeah, I am thinking
Red
of
Dawn. Is it?
Red Dawn's a remake.
I actually really didn't like that film at all.
No, Red State just
Good
sucked.
God.
I was really disappointed and surprised by it. Yoga Hosers. There's things I like about it, but there's other things I'm like, I don't know, that wouldn't... Like, Ralph Garman's in it, and I love Ralph Garman from Hollywood Babylon, but they just seem to sort of shoehorn his knack for impressions in there.
Right.
And it didn't really work, I didn't think, that well.
He's the little things, isn't it? The little people or something?
No, that's Kevin, actually. That's
Kevin did all those?
He's the Bratzies, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
The Bratzies I thought were really funny.
The Bratzies.
Yeah.
They look weird.
Yeah,
I have to watch that. I really do have to watch it. I'll watch any.
It's worth watching, certainly, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, other films with religion in them, though. The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
I fucking love The Exorcist.
Yeah.
I only seen it for the first time when I was living with you, actually, Joe, in the Lady Palace.
Was it?
Yeah, that's the first time I ever seen it. We watched it on Halloween.
Did we? I don't even remember
that. We all watched that, and I was just, I was like, Jesus Christ, that film is still that holds up really well, and I don't think it's really aged that much at all. Maybe some of the effects have and stuff like that, but that girl's performance is fucking stellar.
Yeah. Yeah,
really
it was her first movie as well, wasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was.
I think it's because that film as well, it doesn't rely on kind of a whole lot of jump scares. It's more kind of psychological.
It's her performance really more than anything, and the priest as well. And I say I think so when you said it was her first film. I'm just making it up and agreeing with you for the crack. It may or may not be your first one. I don't know.
Oh,
if you say it is, I believe you.
I was genuinely asking a question.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'll Google that shit. Hang on.
We have a researcher for a reason.
Ken's already on it. Look at him go. Look at those fingers move on the keyboard.
Oh,
fuck, man, that is
really
hot.
Want to see my fingers move?
So turned on right now. It's
just
ridiculous.
ask your sister.
God.
I'm sorry.
Right here.
You're right there.
I did say mother.
Oh.
I thought the more obvious choice. You're banging a sister. I thought that would have been the more obvious choice. No.
Well, anyway,
he has more fun with his
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Antoinette, if you're
You know
watching.
your mother is watching.
Is she?
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan. I'm talking into the mic when it's live.
Well, yeah, like, there's people that'll be listening at home to
She
this.
can definitely hear you.
Yeah.
So one I'm gonna pull out. Have you
What do you
Nick's
know
gonna pull
about
out
pulling out?
you.
have any of you seen Stigmata?
No,
Yes.
I've not.
Gabriel Byrne
Yeah.
film. I love that film. I've watched that more times than you'd expect. I don't know why.
Really?
I thought it was a really good film, really well shot, good story, and kind of
Yeah.
well acted as well. So I don't have really much more to add. I just think it's a really good film, and it's an interesting kind of take on the whole stigmata concept.
What is that concept again? Can you remind me?
You know, where people get the wounds of Christ
Yeah.
on their,
Like your
arms
man,
and
what's it
feet.
that Padre Pio
Padre
had?
Pio, yeah.
He had
Yeah.
them.
Your namesake, Joe.
Yeah, unfortunately, a lying sack of shite. He did it to himself.
Wait, what?
His autopsy showed when he died that it was self-inflicted. That's dedication, though.
What do you mean your namesake, though? I'm sorry.
Oh, God, he doesn't know, does he?
Joe's middle name is
No,
Pio.
no.
It's what?
Joseph
It's not.
Pio Lennon.
Ah, God damn it. It's not. Don't you? That's not my middle name.
JPL.
Maybe it is.
Coming at you live.
Fuck's sake.
I thought you knew that. Ian.
No, it's
Everybody
not.
seems to fucking know that.
Well, everyone knows now.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Well,
annoying. But yeah,
everyone
Padre
watched
Pio was for like 40 years. Like
Jesus.
when he died, it was shown that it was self-inflicted. Now that's dedication to like constantly like scar your hand and keep an open wound in your hand. You know,
That's
that's
like-
dedication. Fuck that.
What's like this
Like-
episode of Preacher, or this week's episode of Preacher, which we talked about in the first half. If
We
you want to hear
did,
what we
yes.
thought about it, then listen to the full thing, or watch the full thing when it's out in several days' time. But yeah, I've mentioned Dogma to people before, and they've said, "Oh, the thing with Gabriel Byrne's." Like, no, that's Stigmata, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
So yeah, the Passion of the Christ,
Shite.
absolute muck.
Oh, it's absolutely awful.
I think
Did anyone actually enjoy that film? It's like it's just torture.
it is.
Torture porn for it.
I think I seen the second half of it, but not the first half. So I saw it from when the torture all started, and it was it was just fucking shy. I remember the Catholic Church at the time, I think, or maybe the Pope or someone was just like, "It is as it was." It's like, yeah, shy crack.
Shite crack.
Yeah,
I remember not hating it,
I hated it.
but
Well, the
it
second
was
half. that I saw.
it was weird that a technically foreign language film got as much buzz as it did at the time,
Yeah,
because it was a pretty huge like deal.
yeah.
And also it actually starred Jesus Christ, Jim Caviezel.
JC.
Mhm.
He's had a career, hasn't he?
Has he?
Well,
You play Jesus once and the whole thing goes to
downhill
hell.
from there. That's
Lol.
really bad, Joe.
Do you like that?
That was
Sorry
muck.
for the delay in the information, but the little girl from The Exorcist,
Yeah.
she was in 2 movies before that.
Okay.
Exorcist was 73.
Okay.
The 2 movies were The Way We Live Now in the 70 and The Sporting Club in 71. She was also in a TV show from 68 to 69 called Hidden Faces.
Never
There
heard
you
of
go.
any of those things.
Yeah.
It took me a while to find her because she's down the very end of the casting list for The Exorcist on Wikipedia.
It's a bit harsh.
What?
That is awful.
That is awful. Just because
Wow.
she's a child or something? Or a woman?
What do you think? Children belong at the bottom of a list?
Well, Wikipedia does, apparently. We should talk about Monty Python's Life of Brian.
Yeah. Life of Brian.
And I'm just trying to find... That was banned in Ireland for many years, wasn't it?
It was banned in Ireland. I think it was banned in the UK as
Was
well.
it?
Because I
Sucks.
remember the clip they always show on those Monty Python clip shows is like John Cleese arguing with some bishop.
Yeah.
It's on one of those chat shows that were all the rage in the 70s. But I just remember, because I remember the whole controversy around it because it was mocking religion, and it was just kind of like, okay. Well, obviously, again, we've had this kind of thing come up before in the like we can't really speak to that because we're talking in the context of being, children of the 80s,
Yeah.
whereas when that came out, which I think was early 70s, was it?
I have it open here, I'll tell you now. It was...
It would have been. It has to be.
80s?
The 70s.
No, 79.
Oh, okay.
79.
But I think even with that, and we're speaking to experiences where we're more not like are influenced by the 90s. So like 79, religion would have had a way more impactful place.
Oh, here we go.
In
Hang
the
on.
general consciousness. Oh, you've got
to
to
hear
Sorry,
Wikipedia.
From Wikipedia, the film contains themes of religious satire that were controversial at the time of its release, drawing accusations of blasphemy and protests from some religious groups.
Blasphemy still a law in Ireland.
For now, anyway.
Yeah, not for long, hopefully. 39 local authorities in the United Kingdom either imposed an outright ban or imposed an brackets 18-year certificate, effectively preventing the film from being shown, since the distributor said it could not be shown unless it was unedited and carried the original AA-14 certificate. Some countries, including Ireland and Norway, banned its showing, with a few of these bans lasting decades. The filmmakers used such notoriety to benefit their marketing campaign, with posters in Sweden saying, "So funny, it was banned in Norway."
Same thing happened with other films.
Yeah.
That was Life of Brian.
So the meaning of life was also banned over here.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, there's that whole every sperm is sacred scene, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Catholic scene where they're fucking like rabbits. And it has like a family of like 15 or
That's
something.
the same scene.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Is
Yeah.
that same scene?
Yeah,
Okay.
same scene.
There we go.
It's like-
I haven't seen that film in a very long time.
Was it I think
very
it's,
long time.
I think it's Michael Palin says something like, if our religion let me wear one of those rubber things in the tip of my cock, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now. Like they did not give a fuck at that point.
No, they didn't.
And that's not a particularly amazing film, but
No, I think that's the weakest.
It's the
of
weakest
the
of the
Python
three,
films that
yeah.
I've seen.
by far, yeah.
The
There are some great bits in it though.
So they were pretty all religious when you look at it, because the Holy Grail was the one after that, wasn't it?
Holy Grail is a better film than Life of Brian, I think.
Yeah.
Very much
I
so.
argue on it. Do you know what's really funny about that? When you look at the whole banning and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and you always find it with the religious films, because I'm pretty sure The Exorcist had problems in certain film or certain countries as well. Anything to do with religion is like, fuck it. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's just ban the fucking thing.
Yeah.
They are still all three films are in the top 10 greatest comedy films of all time.
Yeah.
They have lists. There's documentaries about them. Now we look back on it, and it's like, how stupid were you? This is a brilliant piece of film.
Yeah.
But I think there were people at the time that did think they were brilliant pieces of film.
Oh yeah.
But it's just that the grip that Catholicism
The
had,
church.
on a lot of
Or Christianity in the case of the UK and stuff.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just us that thought it was brilliant, or fans of the film. One of the most notorious fans was, of course, George Harrison. Following the withdrawal of funding by EMI Films just days before production was scheduled to begin, longtime Monty Python fan and former member of the Beatles, George Harrison, arranged financing for Life of Brian through the formation of his company, Handmade Films.
That's class.
So if it wasn't for George Harrison, you mightn't even have the Life of Brian.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So rest in peace, George Harrison. That's all I'm saying. Apart from the Beatles being fucking class by.
Class. Boy.
Yeah, they're all right.
You.
Yeah, watch yourself. Even to like the modern films that get in trouble. Like I've on my list the Da Vinci Code. Da Vinci Code got a lot of fucking stick.
I know it did.
When it came out, and I
saw
ended up
two-
reading the book first.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic book. It really is.
I saw two old women walk out of the cinema 20 minutes into Da Vinci Code, literally storming out going, "Oh, Jesus, this is shite." It was a completely Passion of St. Tibulus type walk
You wouldn't
out.
believe the amount of nudity in it, Father.
Oh, thank God. Now you've mentioned a religious TV show, because I was struggling to think of one that's not Preacher. Father Ted.
Father Ted. It's the ultimate religious theme.
It is the ultimate religious theme. And apparently, I've heard that it does translate in other countries as well, which is interesting to me, because it's very, very Irish.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very Irish TV show.
Yeah.
Hosted and run by a
British
channel.
Funded by Channel
Fun.
4, but completely shot, staffed, and starring Irish people.
Yeah.
Wasn't the next show after that the only one to be done exactly like that would have been Moon Boy?
Yeah.
From when Father Ted finished to Moon Boy, and it would have been on an English channel, fully full Irish funded as well.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because it's all...
What channel was that? E4 done that, was it?
Sky One.
Sky was
Was
Moon
it
Boy,
Sky
yeah.
done Moon
Yeah.
Boy? Jesus.
Have you seen it? You haven't, have you?
No,
Moon
I
Boy.
don't.
Moon Boy?
Yeah.
I did,
watch
yeah.
it. Jess enjoyed it.
I take it they're never going to
No, they're not.
continue it. Does anyone know why they cancelled it?
Sorry.
Was it just
dying
because he
over
was
here.
he fell into the lost category? The boy was getting too old too quick.
It was getting too old, so when you get to that age, you lose your imaginary friend.
Yeah.
And that was the idea behind it.
Ah, okay.
So, and I think he just wanted to wrap her up after, what was it, 2 seasons?
3.
3.
But yeah, like a lot of...
Felt like I had a lot more to give.
No, I'm happy enough that they ended it after 3. Like most I know it's Irish, but most British funded TV shows and stuff, they tend to know when to quit while they're ahead.
Yeah.
Black Books, IT Crowd.
Black Books, IT Crowd, Father Ted, The
Although our
Office.
IT Crowd had the specials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Well, there
were
was one
weaker.
special. Huh?
They were weaker.
Well, there was the 4th series, which a lot of people say was weaker, but I don't really agree with that. And then there was one sort of final episode, which I remember liking, but
Not
Yeah.
hugely.
I remember liking it, but I remember people saying that it was a bit rubs, but
Mhm.
I enjoyed it.
Graham Linehan and Arthur Matthews, absolute heroes. Though Arthur Matthews had nothing to do with IT Crowd.
He did not.
Just with Black Books, wasn't it?
That was that was both. I think both were Graham, both Graham Linehan. Like Black Books was Graham Linehan and Dylan Moran.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But yeah, the Moon Boy. Like I was saying this earlier on to Joe. One of my favorite tweets, like obviously the World Cup semi-final between France and Belgium was tonight, and one of my favorite tweets ever.
I don't know if you've heard, Aidan.
Yeah, I know.
It's coming home.
Oh, fuck off. I'm loving the memes, but my God, that's catchy. It's in my head again now.
Yes.
It helps that I really like David Baddiel and Frank Skinner. They're both really funny people, and Fantasy Football was an amazing show. Even though I don't give a shit about soccer, I still ended up seeing it quite a bit because my brother Greg was a big fan of that, and he loves soccer and stuff. So I ended up seeing it. I was like, fuck, this is actually really funny. But yeah, one of my favorite tweets of all time from Chris O'Dowd. He was in France, and the tweet was literally, just saw Thierry Henry in a hotel, didn't hold the elevator for him, followed by hashtag, still not forgiven France for handball. Hashtag, what has it been, 8 years now? Hashtag, Ireland! So I love that. And then one of my other favourite tweets, which reminded me of that, when...
Aidan's tweeted away.
Yeah, when
Oh
when
my
Moon
God,
Boy,
can we do that?
when Moon Boy first hit the airwaves, do you know David O'Doherty?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another Irish comedian. Do you know him, Ken? It's fucking hilarious. But he tweeted Chris O'Dowd saying, yeah, just watched Moon Boy illegally on a stream on the internet in the nip, like James Dean in a hotel room. Brillo. He just started congratulating him about how good it was, but he's like, yeah, I watched it illegally. It was great. But yeah,
it's been a while, but your dad has chimed in.
has he? What did he say?
Baseball.
Oh, sorry.
Hats
No, he's
are
saying
meant to be worn with the peak to the front. And while I'm at it, could you please play the cheeks of our arse?
What?
The cheeks are arse. I don't know that one. Send us the link to that. We might play it next week or something.
Do we want to go
Me and
into
Mick
the...
have to agree
So
on it being played
confusing.
next week.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Well, we got one more series I'd like to talk
Okay,
about.
sorry, go on.
Well, it's Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah.
And the Temple of Doom is about a Mayan god, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Golly ma.
So,
What about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
let's not talk. Well, you know what? Everything but the last 20
Technically-
minutes.
There.
Well, technically, it's a religious cult.
Yeah.
It's
They're
based
It's an
around
Aztec
it.
in
thing,
religious
isn't it?
cult.
Lucas
Yeah.
is all about the religious.
Funny
Actually,
enough, I
yeah,
went-
fuck Star Wars. Jedi is
Passion of
a
the
religion.
Christ.
Sith is a
We've
religion.
already talked about Passion of the Christ.
I don't care. I'm
It's-
just going to say it again.
Do it again. Do it again. No, because I went to like the Rainforest Adventure Golf out in Dundrum, and they actually have a crystal skull hole
Do they?
in. I can't remember if it's the Aztec or the Mayan. I'm gonna blank on that completely, but literally you have to get the ball up a hill down to the hole, and when you do, one of the crystal skulls goes.
So it's the
And then Harrison
shittest hole
Ford.
on the course.
Harrison Ford falls out
Then you
of
have
it
to
on
roll.
a
Then
fridge.
you have to roll under a boulder and grab a hat at the same time.
Jesus.
Where is this and how much is it in?
Where is it? And fuck you, take my money.
Yeah. Those films are fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
They're
They are.
so good. What's really weird is it's one of those trilogies where the third one is actually the best. Last Crusade.
Arguably, yeah. I
You
could see
think
that.
the last
First
yeah.
film is great.
It is, but the Last Crusade is definitely a stronger film.
I think this is a controversial.
Because Temple of Doom I don't like, actually.
Until
I love
until
Temple of
the-
Doom.
Until
like it.
Crystal Skull, I thought the general consensus was Last Crusade was the weakest of the three.
Oh,
No, the general
you're
consensus.
wrong.
The general consensus is that Temple of Doom was the weakest, but I think
Sorry, then Temple of Doom,
Temple of Doom's the
Last
weakest.
Crusade, and then the original.
Oh, no. Well,
my-
not in my mind. But
no,
I
my
don't know.
my least favorite of the three is the first one. Raiders of the
Wow,
Lost Ark.
really?
Really?
Yeah. And my
think
favorite.
The silence there for a second of everyone going, what?
I'm sorry, Aiden, but your opinion is wrong.
It might
Do you
just
know the
be
opinions
because
are different from everybody? Yeah, yours is wrong in this case.
It definitely is.
opinions are like
Yeah.
assholes. Everybody's got one.
Don't quote Salt and Pepper at me.
I think that Temple of Doom is the one that's not shown as often as either Last Crusade or Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Probably
I don't
true,
know.
yeah.
And I think that's probably why I'm not as familiar with it as the other two.
I love Temple of Doom.
But yeah, it's the one. I think the annoying kid doesn't help it.
I know you've never wanted to slap a child.
The
more
annoying
in
woman
your life.
is the annoying part of that film. Like,
Hmm.
even though she's hot.
You just wanted to kick that child in the face.
But no,
Oh my God.
pretty much all of
Mr.
those films are
Jones!
eminently watchable.
Yeah. You know that there's a reference to Temple of Doom and Clerks.
Go on.
Do you know when the guy, like, that guy goes into the quick stop and he's giving out yards that he can't return his video
Hmm.
and he can't rent a new one, and then he storms off and Dante just goes, like, out of earshot of your man, Dante's like, forgot your keys, and he fucks him in the bin. Next thing your man walks by Randall a few minutes later, and Randall's like carrying a couple of videotapes on top of his head. Your man just goes, you see a set of keys around here? Randall goes, no time for love, Dr. Jones, and he fucks off.
Isn't there also an Indiana Jones reference in Dogma?
Probably, yeah.
No,
oh,
Ticket.
no, Ticket. And also,
I love that scene.
yeah,
Oh, that's
also,
so good.
there's in the Clerks cartoon,
Hmm.
there's an episode that makes fun of The Last Starfighter and Temple of Doom. The episode basically just takes those two storylines and bashes them together, and it's really, really funny. Like, at one point Dante says, you know, the old guy in Temple of Doom
Mhm.
that's in the village and stuff. At one point Dante's like, thanks, creepy guy. Jay, Bob, kids, let's go rescue those guys. It's fucking brilliant.
Am I wrong in saying that was Son of Bob's first ever line in one of their movies?
His first ever line was in Clerks.
Clerks, I got nothing.
I think
wasn't
he
it?
has.
No,
he
no,
has
no,
one
that's
or
Clerks
two.
too.
He has one or two lines a film.
He has the reason and the only reason that happened is because in the first Clerks he says to Dante, you know, most women
Mhm.
don't
Oh,
Bring
make
you
your lunch work.
lasagna, yeah.
There's only work. Most of them just cheat on you, and he
Mhm.
fucks off. The only reason that he had that line is because Jay kept fucking it up. So then after a while,
Mhm.
Kevin Smith was like, fuck it, I'll do the line. And then it just became a thing.
Yeah, he got
Where
the.
he just
I
got
think
to
did
do
he call
one.
it the Marcel Marceau part?
Yeah, he did refer to it as that, yeah.
Because he gets
Um,
one line a film, but it's always the kind of
Yeah,
yeah,
words
that
of wisdom.
kind of thing.
yeah the words of wisdom type.
Yeah.
Is that why then in the second Clerks he does the whole thing where it's like, Jay is like, this is your whole fucking moment, and you gotta say one fucking word, say something.
I got nothing. It's like, what
I
do you
got
ever had this
nothing.
conversation? You have one answer, pussy, man.
Pussy, man, that's it. All you ever say is
Yeah.
pussy.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, do you want to rock into the feedback?
Yes, we got a few responses here and suggestions. I'm gonna go. Ooh, alright, so boys, Devil Wears Prada from Ken Keegan. Ken, discuss. You're
Who
right
is he?
here.
Who is
Let's go.
that guy? He looks very handsome
It's
in his profile
definitely the
picture.
best. Holy shit!
She's such a ride. I just want to bring that up again.
Oh my god, he's obsessed with what's her name again?
Who? What are you talking
Meryl
about?
Streep.
Oh,
Meryl Streep.
okay.
He has sexual fantasies for Meryl.
Oh, she's
Meryl
such
Streep.
a ride. She get a hard, fast, and brief. I'd bang her before I bang Anne Hathaway. There, I said it. Look at her there. Yes, she
Would
get
you
it.
throw her hat away?
There's something weird
What?
Would you
happening
throw
here,
her
man.
hat
Holy
away?
shit!
Oh.
Oh.
Throw me dick her
Moving
way.
on.
She's 69, still would. Anyway.
Definitely at that age.
You.
You'd have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, hard, fast, and brief.
Ian Boylan says
Very
if
brief.
you saw a religious episode of The Walking Dead last season, if you're like me and question why are you still watching this piece of shit, it was the most ridiculous thing ever. I genuinely hate religious stuff that is done in a virtue of signaling good things happen because we believe in God way. I understand that sometimes the creator is religious, but it puts me off when it's shoehorned in or shoved in your face. I'm pretty sure he's referencing to the episode for the priest. Do you remember?
No, don't
The
watch
Walking Dead? No. Fuck, what's the name of the priest? He has a whole
Father,
episode
who gives a shit?
where it follows him. You know the way they
As his
give
mates call him.
characters episodes, like
Yeah.
their kind of arc
Vaguely, yeah.
stuff. He got one, and because he was a priest, it's definitely going to be a very religious
Mhm.
episode.
Yeah.
I
When they brought,
think that's the one he's talking about.
do you remember in Sons of Anarchy as well when they had that whole season in Belfast and they had the priest in there, like that? If there was a time, now I
It's
watched
awful.
all the way through and I finished Sons of Anarchy, but if there was a time I was going to stop, it would have been around then, because the whole thing in Belfast, it was a bit miserable. It was a bit of a slog, I found.
How
And
bad were the accents?
What are you talking
I
about?
was just going to say the fucking accents. I just died like
You
these.
can't even blame one of them. The blonde one was actually from Northern or Belfast, isn't she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she had the worst.
The worst accent
No.
of the lot.
Who were the two RA leaders? There's one, and I was like, please
Timmy O'Fallon.
Timmy O'Fallon, please get look
Timmy
at the Irish boys.
O'Fallon.
I think it was. Was it Timmy O'Fallon?
Something really fucking
Irish.
It was
Timmy
like
it was
O'Fallon
very big,
and
alright.
Evie Kravnov.
And then it's like, come here to me, you Jax Teller. And I tell you something. It
So
was
bad.
like awful. It
He
was
was
like
hateful.
a pirate got kicked in the testicles and forced to live in Dublin for 40 years.
and kicked down a staircase a couple of times. Like it's
But half of the accents genuinely sound like they were from inner city Dublin and they're from Northern
They
Ireland.
were pretty awful.
Yeah.
They were pretty awful if I remember correctly.
shocking.
And that season, that part of the season, I do remember being fucking shit. Like,
And you remember the Irish stuff, the theme as well?
that was not needed.
They like the theme song of the
Riding
show.
through this
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Hold on, we're
It was
calling you
actually
jumping in.
terrible.
It's awful. It is awful.
You should plug it into the mixer if you can. Although I don't know if you have a lead.
Do you have...
legal
Irish
rights.
team song. It's so
Oh.
bad.
Do you
Hold
have
the
a-
microphone up to it.
Yeah.
Where
Where is she on the
Joe
surface
can't
again?
find his hole.
Fucking hell, Joe. Where is
Oh.
it? There it is.
Ah, there it is. She's right on the side.
Hang on.
Will you let Mick get it in before I start moving?
Oh,
Get away.
Go on, get it in there, Mick. Nice and deep, like.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible.
He
And
takes
I
it.
almost broke the mixer.
Holy
Fun
shit.
times.
Go on, get it in there, Mick.
Oh.
We have to.
It's going to be an ad.
Is that an ad?
No, it's
Nah, the Facebook
the
will-
loop back
Oh,
the
Jesus.
Facebook audio. You just got me going. Nah.
Yeah. Oh, I really hope this is it. It's
Right into this world all alone. Gotta take your soul. You're on your own. The perfect strain. The
No
perfect
banjo there.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Oh, it's so bad.
until you
It went
die.
from like a really cool country song.
It's like a bluesy kind of thing, isn't it? Like, yeah.
It's very blues, but then there's like a tin whistle over the top of it. But I've no
Yeah.
reference for what the actual song
Well,
sounds like.
here's
so.
the actual one
Okay.
now. Unless there's an ad for the play. No, there's not.
Okay, yeah, I can see what they did. Yeah,
But just those two RA members, though. The two leaders, like, there was one and then there was another one later on. I was just dying for them both
that's
to be
not a
stabbed.
bad tune.
It's alright, like,
The
it's,
original is good.
it's pure it's pure cheese.
It's a really good song, though.
But it's it's not bad, like.
So they done an awful job of that Irish day. Actually, do you know what? It was just unnecessary.
Yes, it was.
It was like, why? You
But my
went to
thing- just
loads of other places.
Hire
Why?
Irish actors. What's wrong with that? Hire some Nordy actors.
Nordy actors.
How many do you know? I'm sure there's loads.
There's bound to be one or two.
That is the same complaint you always get about like American adaptions of
yeah.
other cultures.
Yeah,
Like-
just don't hire Brad Pitt or fucking Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Fucking sake.
But sorry, we've gone off the beaten track
Yeah,
there. Sorry
we
about that.
have.
That's my
Another
fault.
one, yeah. Laura said original Omen.
I've never seen it, but I've
have
heard
not
that
either.
they're okay.
So good.
Yeah.
So fucking good.
On a scale of 1 to
This is for
Exorcist, how
you,
good is it?
Damien.
On a scale of 1 to Exorcist, how good is it?
Ooh, close to Exorcist.
Really?
Yeah,
I
those
must watch
two
it
are
then.
really of that era,
Exactly, yeah.
and both of them really excelled in what they were doing.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, it was a film that was both of those films are executed perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd recommend it if you like The Exorcist.
Yeah.
It's not The Exorcist, but it's still fucking good.
Good to know.
What else we got? Hey, Dave! Beardy Dave.
Beer Dave, yeah.
Beardy Dave. Blessing my brothers. Dave. Do you guys find that watching something that you heard from Mass back in the day, i.e. Noah, Passion of the Christ, is spoiled or tough to watch when you watch it? It's really weird when you think of all those stories you were told as a kid and then you see, like, fucking Passion of the Christ come out and you're like, God damn.
I've heard Noah is shit.
Is that the one with Emma
That's-
Watson?
Is that not
I
the?
have seen that one.
Is that not the Noah's Ark story? But
No, I have not seen that one.
But
yes.
with
I was trying to think of it.
Flying around the world.
yeah, with Russell Crowe.
That's his year of doing, I've got to be as many historical characters as possible.
Oh, with
I have Noah, I have Robin Hood, and both
Oh,
films
God.
were goddamn awful.
Who did it?
What's his name?
Russell
Yeah,
Crowe.
fine.
Russell Crowe.
Rusty
Fucking
Crowe.
In the
Around
same
the
year,
world.
he done like Noah, and then like the year, like I think it was the same year, the year after he done Robin Hood. He's doing
Yeah.
all these historical ones. It feels weird to see these stories told like this.
Rusty Crowe's great, but Gladiator was shot as well. I'm just going to put that out there.
Oh, I love Gladiator.
Or very overrated, certainly.
I would
I do
agree.
like
it's
Gladiator.
very
Are you not
overrated.
entertained?
I was
No,
entertained.
I'm not actually. That was my fucking problem with that film.
I really like
I
that
did
film.
like the dance remix of the theme song.
dance remix.
Did you? Oh God, I don't know what that's called, but yeah, don't listen.
No.
to
I love the airplane in the sky in the background.
Mm.
What a great
Yeah,
scene.
classic.
In Gladiator.
Or the CO2
Like, you
tank
know, the
canisters.
CO2 tank, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, there's
That's a
loads
famous
of
one as well.
Don't forget. Dave
Yeah.
says, "Don't forget Superman's dad if it counts."
Does it? As in Richard Donner's Superman?
Oh, I think so. Dave,
I can't
what do you
I haven't seen it
mean?
in so long.
Elaborate, Dave.
Yeah, please
Elaborate.
elaborate, Dave. We're not. Yeah,
Superman's
it's been a minute
dad.
since I've seen that film, so I can't remember. What was I going to say? Like, I know we touched on it already, but like, it's actually amazing how much Father Ted has actually impacted and stayed with.
Wait, I have to wait
You
for it to
did
get
not
to the.
ruin that song.
Which one?
It's the Gladiator theme song, but dancey.
Oh Jesus! I've got to take an ear off you there again, Joe. That's all right.
I think this is the bit where it gets into.
It's cool.
Oh no!
No.
Oh yeah, he played Jor-El in Superman, Man of Steel. Didn't he? No, that was Kevin Costner. He played
a
him
bad
in which
song.
one?
That sounds terrible. That sounds like a
I'm trying to
transfer.
remember now. I remember he did play him. He's played a lot of historical characters now, and I don't know if he's ruining them or just completely just loves fucking up
Mhm.
films
And fighting around the world.
and fighting around the world.
Yeah, it was Man of Steel.
religious teams. Man of Steel, yeah.
Yeah. As Joel.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know
Do you have
that
any
film.
more feedback, or is that?
We don't. Unless
Oh, thanks for
No.
letting me listen to that remix of the Gladiators tune. by
You
the way.
don't want to hear.
that's it. Earth Dad was Kevin Costner. Gotcha.
I got you, fam.
Okay. Does that? Do we have anything else to add, or are we done for part 2?
I think we've talked quite a lot about religious teams and TV shows and films.
Yes.
We went through quite a lot, and Passion of the Christ seems to be an awful, awful film. We're never going to review that one.
Yeah.
No, I do remember when I went to see that in the cinema,
Mm.
that there was two nuns sitting in front of me in the cinema that cried the whole way through.
No way.
I swear to God.
Where were their
I was
hands?
about to say, I swear.
Oh my God! Where were the crucifixes?
Ah.
Back to the
No wonder
exit
they were
again.
held at the end.
Did I just ruin that there? I'm sorry.
But
I'm sorry, I took
was
it down a
just
notch.
like, Come on, this didn't happen.
Oh.
Oh God!
No, it was a film.
Why was he white anyway?
Mom and Dad, if you're still watching this, I'm really sorry.
We won't get into a religious
I'm
debate.
sick.
on
Do you know
this,
what I
will we?
want? I want to see
Probably best
Passion of the
avoided.
Christ remade with color or ethnicity correctness.
Ooh.
I'd love to see the Bible.
Sam
remade
Jackson on the
with
cross.
colour ethnicity.
I want to see the Passion of the Christ too.
Crucify this.
Oh man, you
He's
crazy,
back.
Jesus! You crazy!
Oh,
You ever
God.
use one of these? You ever smoke one of these?
That'd be
Um,
great. Just like the start of it, his hands coming around the big giant boulder, pulling
Yeah.
himself out of a cave.
Don't know why I imagined Terry Crews doing that for some reason in my
Well,
head.
there you go.
It's like, how
There's-
cool would Terry
There's
Crews
partly
be?
your colour.
Oh my, yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
He was
Terry
definitely
Crews would be
black
a
or
great
sand
Jesus.
person.
Terry hates crucifixions.
I said
Terry
that wrong,
Jesus.
didn't I?
What did you say?
You're gonna have to delete that. You're gonna have to delete that. Oh, it's on the live feed. Oh my
Delete what? What
God!
did you say?
No, I'm not repeating it.
I think you
Not
should.
repeating it. I said it by accident.
Repeat
Mick,
it
could you
off
delete
camera.
that? It was like 420 something. Like, I don't know what it was.
420.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I didn't
You-
say the second part of that phrase. I only said the first part, but it's not as bad.
Mm-hmm.
What was I going to say?
Just wrote down one word. Oh, that's fantastic.
I can't see it.
Curious. No.
I'll
It's
ask you
fine.
about it when we're off camera.
Yeah. All right,
I'll
we
listen
are.
to it back on my audio.
So did anyone think of a question for next week?
Yes.
Aiden has, yeah.
I thought of 2 questions.
2.
Well, we only need one, so it's fine.
For the week after as well. Now, I do have...
And it probably won't be next week because.
Oh, yeah.
What, you're
Oh,
saying
yeah.
I can't answer
Well,
questions?
no, I'm saying me and you
That's
might
the
do
live
something
feed.
special,
Unless you
Ken.
want to do the live feed together.
Me and Mick.
It's just going to be
come
a.
up with like a really cool logo of the two of us riding unicorns under like a rainbow.
Can it
Well-
be over like crushing their heads as we go by?
What the shit is
No.
happening right now? I thought you didn't want to do video.
I'm not doing video.
Are you doing a live feed
No,
though?
I'm just going to come up with a logo for audio.
You can wear a mask or something or a balaclava.
Speak for yourself.
Have the Irish flag in the background.
And do a Galen accent.
It's like, is there any reason why Ken is dressed up like a member of the Ra? Well, it was suggested. We thought it would be funny. Turned out it was completely tasteless.
Oh, Jason, we
I
apologise.
was not, nor was
so
I.
much.
I am not,
Well,
nor was I
well,
ever in the IR.
I'll have to like.
The week later is him just with a statement with us standing behind him.
I'll have to like get one of them the audio dubbers and like put my voice down really deep so you don't know it's me.
This-
We are everywhere.
I will
we are,
figure out how to
we
use
are the
this
Ra.
mixer's audio changer
Just put
by
a lot of
the
bass to it.
Just get like a Jerry Adams voice changer.
That won't be
We will
necessary.
be fine.
I can just do the Jerry Adams voice. And it'll work
If you want me to
perfectly.
do the whole podcast like this, I can. I don't mind sitting here. I'm
totally
not doing this.
lost
The
it.
Ra are coming after us.
Up the Ra.
What was I going to say? But yeah, I have 2 ideas for questions of the
Okay.
week anyway for the future-ish. One.
Give us one now, yeah. Pick which one you think is best.
Well, you're going to know what the other one is when it's just the first one.
Okay.
And there may be a little bit of overlap between this question and the next one. So
Mhm.
sorry
So
about
they're
that.
technically the same question.
Yes, best and worst religion. No, best and worst depictions of God and best and worst depictions of the devil in movies and TV.
I think we could wrap that probably into one question because I don't know if we'll get enough.
Yeah, that's a one for.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's do that then
Sounds
for
good. Okay. Not
yeah.
next week, the week
the
after.
week after. Yeah.
Not next week,
So
the week
best
after.
depiction of fictional characters in a movie or TV show.
Controversial.
Once again, if there's any strongly feel, there's any Catholics
Devout.
out there still that are
I love that. A dying breed these days.
Yeah.
You know, they
if any of you guys are still like married,
they
to
pray in
JC and stuff,
secret.
yeah, then I'm sorry.
Okay. Or is
Obviously not that
alright,
fucking
that's our
sorry, but
question of the
anyway.
week for 2 weeks from now. Okay, fine. Any last comments on this, anyone?
No, I
No?
think we covered it all.
Yeah.
Think that? Okay, then. We've, someone's got to tell us where everyone can actually find us. And who did we make do it last week?
I
You
thought we
tried
can.
to
Oh, I
make
tried
me-
to make
you
Ken.
tried to make me do
You
it.
nearly
Tried to
jumped
put
through
me
the
on
fucking
spot.
window.
If you're
Mick-
looking to find them, you will find them on this couch.
Mick, where can they find us?
Okay.
How can they contact us?
So you can find us on Facebook. That's Preachin on Preacher. Have we changed it back from at the movies yet? Or is it still at the
Yeah,
movies?
I changed it.
Okay,
didn't I?
so
Took
it's just
ages.
Preach-
I changed the image as well.
Preachin on
Yeah.
Preacher. Twitter is at PreachinPod. Gmail, preachinonpreacher@gmail.com. Aiden, usual check
Fuck
it.
no,
Yeah.
no,
No dick mail?
no dick mail. No.
And then on the interwebs, there is preachinonpreacher.com. If you want to listen to the audio version of this podcast, which I hope you would,
Yes.
you can find us on all the kind of good podcasting hosts. So iTunes. Are we on Google Play? I don't think you can be on Google Play over here yet, can you?
I don't think there's a podcast.
You can
section
download a
over there, is
podcast app and just get the RSS
Yeah.
feed from preachinonpreacher.com and just put it in there.
There's
and you
also there's also Spotify, Mixcloud.
Your
And-
cloud?
Yes, MyCloud.
My
Yeah.
cloud.
And as always, we appreciate any reviews and ratings you can give us over there
Yeah.
because podcast discovery is shit.
yeah, pretty much.
5-star ratings
It is
really help
true.
us out. So
And
do that.
YouTube as well, by the way.
Oh, and you.
YouTube is awful.
I keep
for
forgetting that, but yeah,
Yeah.
we are on YouTube. Is that at Preachin on Preacher as well?
Preacher.
If you just search for Preacher on Preacher,
Yeah.
you'll find us. Yeah, you'll find
You
that
can
channel.
actually watch.
click on people. If you just put Preacher on Preacher, it's a hell of a lot of religious crap.
Yeah, just search for the channel Preacher on Preacher, and you'll find us there.
Cool.
We're
Not crap, not literally crap, Joe.
Mhm.
Just a lot of preaching,
Not to your taste.
preachery type stuff. That
Yeah,
isn't
don't-
this podcast.
Mhm.
Don't be insensitive, you prick. And now he's flipping the bird to the audience. Oh,
This will go
God.
down
I
as
don't
one
know
of the worst
how to
Oscar
edit in
speeches.
censored signs yet, so
So
Well,
so-
Someone needs
you've
to
got about 4
censor me
days to
this
figure
week.
it out.
Fucking
Yeah.
hell, someone needs to censor me. All right, then.
Right.
Is that enough to wrap it up?
I think
think
so.
so,
Is
yeah.
it?
yeah,
I think so.
I think so.
Want to play us out?
I guess I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
Next week it's going to be Mick and Ken by themselves because Joe's in Chicago and I'm in Spain. Because Ryanair decided not to fuck me over on this one.
That
so
is very good, and
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
very
really happy
happy
for you.
that.
thank you.
You
If you want to
weren't
hear the
fucked
full
over.
story, listen to the first half of the podcast.
And if you want to know, listen to the episode in 2 weeks where you can discover that Pokemon Go Fest was probably another shit show.
Fucking hate you.
It's going to be great times.
I hope you're really religious and I just shat all over you this week.
Me?
Yeah, I hope
So
you
much to look forward to. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys next week or 2 weeks' time. Sorry.
2 weeks time.
Keep on preaching.